ربنا الله ربنا الله ربنا الله ربنا الله ربنا الله ربنا الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا وشفاعنا ومولانا أبو قاسم المحمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's always great to come and be humble to speak and share my thoughts. I'll wait. Muhammad. It's always nice to come, but I come honestly with a little disappointment. And it's not at all in this community or in this gathering. It's disappointment about what I hoped was going to be a follow-up to. To give you a background, yesterday I was invited along with others, to come to an event at the University of California, Irvine, UC Irvine. And they said this is an event for unity amongst Muslims, to promote unity amongst the Shia community and the Sunni community. And it was a challenge, I'm told, from the organizers to get this going and to get it started and to make it happen. Originally, it was supposed to be a program that commemorated and acknowledged the martyrdom of Imam al-Hussein, alayhi salam. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And after many meetings and restrictions and red tape, it was decided it will not be a program on Ashura. It will be just a unity program, which is a good step. A program for us to dialogue and discuss and build bridges and acknowledge that there are instigators and agitators within the Muslim community who are actively trying to create rifts amongst Muslims, and to talk about how we can begin to overcome that and bridge that. But unfortunately, even that was canceled. And I don't know the full details of why. I'd hope to learn soon. But this was supposed to be a continuation of that, where I would come here and I would share my experiences from that program, tell you how it went, and we would have our own dialogue amongst our community. Fortunately, it didn't happen, but the topic is still just as important. And the topic is highlighted by why these events why that didn't happen, and why something as basic as acknowledging the martyrdom and the killing of the grandson of the Prophet creates controversy. This is the climate where we live today. And so the topic of this talk today is building bridges within our community. And the reason I say the reason I say building bridges is because they have been burnt to a respect. There are agitators and there are elements in the community that are trying to cause rifts between us, brothers and sisters in Islam. They exist, and it's imperative upon us to help heal those bridges and to help bring everybody together and to show those brothers and sisters we have in the Sunni community that the imperative of unity and the imperative of working together. And I'd like to say times have changed. Times have seriously changed. There was my family were from Iraq. I was born in Baghdad. My mother is Sunni. My father is Shia. And when we grew up kind of learning a little bit of both. And it was never told to us, this is what you should be, or this is what you weren't. Alhamdulillah, when I came of age, I did my own studying and I chose my own path. But it wasn't something, it was something that was common. And it still is common. If you go to Iraq, you will find many mixed families, mixed in the definition of families where there are many Shias and many Sunnis within the same family. You would find communities and neighborhoods where one neighbor lived next to another, and one was Shia, one was Sunni, and they would come and they would pray together. They would break fast together. They would learn from each other. They would visit the holy sites together. My cousins, when we visited Iraq, their whole family is Sunni. And yet, we took them to Najaf, and we took them to Karbala, and it wasn't the first time they'd gone. And they went, and they prayed, and they recited the same du'as that we recited, remembering the companions of the cousin of the Prophet, the sons of the Prophet, the companions of the Prophet, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, and it wasn't even strange. It was seen something as normal. What was the only thing that was strange at the time was the large picture of Saddam Hussein in Karbala and in Najaf in the shrine. But beyond that, it wasn't strange to see people from Baghdad coming with you, to see family members coming with you. And when we went back to Baghdad, that same family on my cousin's side, they asked me, how was it? What was it like? And we talked and we dialogued. Sadly, that is not the reality today, whether in Iraq or even in here. A microcosm, my family, now those cousins who used to live next to my other cousins, who are from a Shia family, don't live near each other anymore. The Sunni family was forced to leave the neighborhood because they were told this is now a Shia protected neighborhood. And you're not going to get solace here. You're going to get attacked here. For your own safety, you need to leave. And so they left their house. My grandfather owned a house in Baghdad, but he's here in Michigan. And so he had his neighbor watching over it. And a family came and they said, we don't have a house. We were kicked out of our neighborhood. We need a home. And they took over that home, which happened to be in a Sunni neighborhood. And slowly and surely, these divisions are happening to the point where there are now even walls that are being built around Sadr city to keep out a lot of the people from the rest of Baghdad, to segregate them. And this is all done under the guise of democracy and rebuilding and nation building. And brothers and sisters, this has an effect here today. It has a serious effect. I saw it when I was at UCLA. For those, I graduated from UCLA in 2002. And alhamdulillah, I had a great opportunity to be involved in the Muslim Student Association there. And I don't say it as a point of bragging or anything, but to say that, look, there were times when it was not unheard of for Shias to be in serious leadership positions within these MSAs. I was given the burden of being the president of that MSA and of being the vice president of MSA West, which is the statewide coalition of Muslim student associations on the West Coast. And I'll be honest, there was controversy and there was strife. We had people who would come in because at the time the president of UC Irvine was a brother Suhail, Iranian brother who was Shia. And I was the president at UCLA. And so they said there's the Iranian connection between Los Angeles and Irvine. And some people, some scholars, respected scholars in the community, I'm not going to name names, but I will tell you they are respected and they are leaders of masajid, would openly say these MSAs are funded by Iran. They're getting money from Iran. They're bringing speakers who are getting money from Iran. Baseless. Based on what? Based off false accusations. But despite that, the brothers and sisters in the community were still coming together. And we're saying, you know what, forget these accusations and these discords. There's a larger picture. There's a greater picture that we have to move towards. And we did. And we worked together. After September 11th, there was obviously the war in Afghanistan that happened, right? And I noticed that was becoming a polarizing issue within the Muslim community. Because there still is a mentality, right? You'll see it even anywhere you go. The enemy of our enemy is our friend, right? A lot of people have this mentality. It's why a lot of Egyptians and Palestinians supported Saddam Hussein, and they still support him even today. Because they say, oh, he was the enemy of the United States. The United States is funding the Israeli occupation. Thus, he must be my friend, right? And a lot of the same students had the same mentality and the same outlook towards the government of Afghanistan. And who was ruling Afghanistan in 2001? The Taliban, right? And we know, many of us, I don't have to recount the stories of the Taliban and the massacres that were committed against the Hazara population, the Shia population in Afghanistan, but they're well documented by countless organizations.